Hello and welcome, as it is that of the 26th of August, 2018. This is your crypto day morning. Like always, all trades, all bets, and of the like within your own risk and reward. For myself, risk reward management. Always job number one. And within the crypto space and through exchanges, there are several coins, trying to say that correctly, which gives me the opportunity to trade in and out of different coins that can increase a cryptocurrency portfolio number, or have more bitcoins than you had before, simply that of buying and selling. It's definitely a risk reward game. The Bitcoin price spent several days within this sideways range, and it technically is supporting it, but it hasn't done anything to have any type of clear break on the resistance level. As far as the 6,000 support, how fragile it is, and the nauseating comments about $3,000 on a breakdown over and over and over again, well, every single time that the price action has managed to come in towards these areas, well, it hasn't sold off towards that point, at least as of yet. When we look at this now from this point of view on a 3-hour time frame, let's put a line in where resistance has been in most play, somewhere around in here. How often has this market resisted this area? Well, or been in that area? Once. Very good sell-off. 3 times or multiple times hit below. Not quite getting up to that point. Sell-off again. And then it resists it again. Back to the 18. As there's the move back in here. Resist it again. Move back to the 18. Unable to get near it here. The failed breakout above that level occurred. Oftentimes, after a failed move, you get a fast move in the opposite direction thereafter. Well, not this time. As it goes below the 18, giving you a lot of scare that it was going to do such, but it held this level of support that's within the main trading range. And then it comes up to this level of resistance, but it breaks above it, coming up, establishing this level here, and finding support so far at an area that was very strong resistance. That's most certainly a bullish situation. Just trying to get this back in view again. Here we go. And when it does break above this, then there's a lot of this empty space, as I like to call it, that it can fill, that you would expect not to be a surprise. And when it has a decent size move, a decent size breakout or breakdown, it's not uncommon for it to happen really fast. So resistance break would be around 68. So it's not a surprise if it goes from 6,800 to like 7,100 in like 20 minutes or 40 minutes. That's been the normal way within this market. Within the more longer term, 3-day term time frame, as within the 18 average has been making lower highs and lower lows. As far as price action is concerned, it's been making lower highs and matching lows. In this general area, lower high. Same general area, lower high. Same general area, lower high. And it's still in that lower area, still within the market. And the price action, after not finding support on the 18 lows at around August the 5th, managed to slide down a bit further, but has, again, held thus far. It is within the retracement. It's got a decent ways to go, again, to break this downtrend, at least of the higher lows. The 18 average of highs is currently in at around 7,116. On the upper left is where you see it in here. on the 3-day time chart. So that's a possibility of one of those resistance areas. But then after getting above that, now you'd be talking about, okay, getting above the 18, working on an upper correctionary move to this last previous high, and then getting above there, and that's like 9,000. So that would still be a gain of like 2,200-ish, 2,300. So that's about 30% that's needed just to even start to consider the talk of the change in trend and that of finally having our first higher high in quite some time. Here we have DENT. Not much data on here. This we can take a look at on, say, a 3-hour time frame. I entered into this at 29, and it's not often that I get to enter in and it just starts going up from when I did, but it's pretty cool, to 51 now. So I've been selling on different multiple spots along the way. I haven't had any buybacks yet, and that's the key word, because it's going to, markets go up, markets go down, all that type of jazz. And NANO, this is a coin that I've been in since the middle of July, which means it's up a little bit. It was at around 22 on the Binance exchange, falling down to below 10, now at 33. If we even look back to the February levels, this was at 1.5. 1.5 down to basically under 0.1, greater than a 15x loss. Can we say big volatility? Yeah, of course I can. And that it's part of this risk reward game. And then it's just been going straight up. And how much longer it's going to do this, I don't know. And maybe it's going to have a move that might come back down a bit, maybe even lose close to half or 30% of its value as a short-term retracement and continue this uptrend. But markets will just end up going up, end up going down. Again, when I started getting into this, I got into it into July, and I like Binance for just up or looking at past trades. For within the market, you can end up doing things like putting like the dates. You can change the dates. Like they say over the last week, but you can change it to back to whenever. Put in the coin that you want to look up. In this case, we're looking at NANO. And I first entered it at July the 17th at about 20 hours or 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I did so buying in at 4,079 Bitcoin was the cost, with the intention from the start of trading it on Binance Coin. I just didn't have enough BNB to buy a full entry position. But then 9 days later, on the 26th of July, I got more at a price of 0.16 against Binance. On July 31st, 5 days later, another buy position at 12 basis points against BNB. And then looking at the bottom of that next trade after, July 31st, buying in at 12. Then the next day, it goes up to 13. Not much of a gain, but I got a small sale. Buy back at 11. I did so the next day thereafter that. And then on August the 12th and 13th, buying at 1,800 and 1,600 Bitcoin. I just didn't have any Binance coin at that time to buy, so I just happened to buy with Bitcoin. And then on June the 15th, sell at 12, sell at 15, sell at 19, buy back at 1642, sell at 1829. And then a buyback at 1650, 1847 a sale, and then at 20, 22 and a half, 25, and I hate when it does that. But there's a 25. Why does it keep doing that? I'm just there. 25, 28.59, and then the most recent sale in at 33.79 this morning at 6:36 a.m. Eastern Time. I was sleeping at that time. But the buy and sell orders, they fell. And I find the order part really interesting because when you look at the amount of fees that is paid, it's almost like I look at these coins like I would at a flea market or a pawn shop or anything of that type of nature, where I'm trying to sell things and buy things. And like any gold and silver, as an example, dealer at those places, you're going to sell for the higher price and buy for the lower price. And if I could have somebody go in and sell me my gold and silver coins and then pay them such a small commission, which is really what it is, because if you're telling somebody, yeah, I want to sell $1,000 worth of these coins, and they're going to do it for you at a certain price, and then if you're talking about paying 1% on that, that would be $10. But I'm paying less than 1% for commission. 0.1%, that would be $1. And it's actually 0.075, so that'd be like paying somebody 75 cents to sell or buy $1,000 worth of a particular item as a convenience fee. It's within the trading mechanism of cryptos, with 0.075 to the highest I see at 0.25%. That's a very low rake, as I call it. Rake is a fee. That's a term used like in poker for what the house takes. And to me, the exchanges is the house. For it to be very low like that, and in commission or in percentage basis, not like a lot of the traditional markets that have like $10 or $5 per trade. This allows you to make $20, $40 trades. And there's not really be too concerned about the commission part within it. Now, of course, for big game players, if you're making $80,000 and $100,000 trades, then that becomes another interesting situation. But myself, I'm not there yet. Most of my trades are, at least if it's just small trades here and there, or the ones shown amongst there, maybe 1 or 2 Binance coins per one, which makes it a $10 to $20 trade. But with several different coins and many different trades, I can do very well, even playing at those kinds of lower stakes. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.